cancelled and postponed many important meetings. And I think that because it was the value of mentorship. Do you understand that? And you are really doing this. Will you please just stand up as we welcome my brother, my friend? God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. Amen. Let us be seated. Please give for me. Please give for me. While we are there, let me just quickly just set myself up. It's my pleasure to be here with you all. This one. I have been associated with this ministry for some time in my own. Amongst our classmates, he's one of those we respect the highest. And let us ask God for His grace. Daddy, we thank you for this occasion. I want you to breathe into us your wisdom, even as you teach us, being the greatest of all teachers. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord. And at the end, your name shall be glorified. And even as all of us here shall benefit greatly. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. When I saw the list of all the topics, frankly, I was thrilled. I can talk on many of the topics, and I had a problem. What should I talk about? And I saw investment. And I just said, okay, God, what should I do? And about a few days later, I received it in me that this is what I want to talk about. But not just talking about investment, talking about our lives, yours and mine, as an investment. I have a friend of mine that we did A-levels together in another school. I didn't do my A-level in the Igbo. I went to another school. And I said this thing to that person this morning. Just review this thing for me and see if you can add one or two things. After looking at what you wrote, I realized that I did not do enough investments in my life. I'm sure at the end of the day, God shall bless you mightily. Because you guys are young. You are at your prime. And even though there's no time that is late enough to start anything good, you have an advantage that maybe many people did not have. So this is what I want to discuss. What is it all about? I'm going to the next slide. What is investment all about? Then why must you invest? Where? What? How? And what are the forms of investments? Now let me quickly break that one down for you. The forms of investment are one, ideas. That is, many people don't invest in ideas. From my observation, knowledge. Many people don't invest in knowledge. And then the financial. That is the only one people always think about when we talk of investments. And then, are you ready? So, next slide. What's it all about? I took this from Google. And from one of the things, so many definitions of investment. The one that appealed to me most, even though there were one or two deficiencies in it, says an investment is an asset or item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciation. Actually, an investment should generate both. It should have both income and it should have appreciation. Not all. That is why I said, but it's the one that fits mainly to what we want to talk about. Appreciation refers to an increase in the value of an asset over time. When an individual purchases a good as an investment, the intent is not to consume the good, but rather to use it in the future to create wealth. An investment always concerns the outlay of some assets today. One, time. Your first investment is your time. The second one is your money. The third one is your effort. It can be in any order, in hopes of a greater payoff in the future than what was originally put in. Look at that, in hopes. That is why you are investing. That tomorrow, what I'm putting in today will yield something in a quantum far greater than what has gone in. If you are interested, that definition, I got it from Investopedia. Now, I now put my own. That investments are things you acquire that builds up your net worth over a period of time. Many of us mistake net worth only in financial terms. The best net worth of a man is the perception of God about that person. So the first thing you want to think about yourself now, constantly, and for the future: how will God value me? The value God gives to you in your life is greater than any value man can give unto you. Also, secondary is, what is the perception of people about me? Then what is the perception of you yourself about yourself? These days we hear cases of depression and maybe people committing suicide. Why should you be depressed? Why should you commit suicide? If you are depressed, it means that you have a low self-esteem of yourself. So I don't know whether anybody here is depressed. I think by the end of today, that depression will go. Because you are worth more than you think you are right now and at any moment. And you are worth more than anybody will tell you that you are. So, why you must invest? Many of us might have seen this before. Have you seen something like this before? This question: make a choice. If I say I'm giving you 1 kobo now, I give you 1 kobo now, but you cannot claim it today. You can only claim it in 30 days' time, and that kobo has an appreciation rate of 100%. Or I want you to collect 1,000 now. Which offer immediately appeals to you? If you just look at it. 1 million. Looking at it, which one? Be honest with yourself. Which one will appeal to you? Nobody's going to take my one kobo. It will 30 days time. Wow. I was just like you before. 1 million. See, there are some proverbs that we should not believe. A bird in hand, when it comes to investments, not lie. Foul. Okay. I said we will have a chalkboard, but let's take a shortcut. Can you see what's there? I will use it. Yeah, I know. That 1 kobo at 100% interest in day 10 will give you 5 naira 12 kobo. Let's go down at day 30. That 1 kobo will give you 5,368 naira 368,709 naira 12 kobo. You say, You know, I don't know whether they said the accountant here. Is there any accountant here? I read business admin in the university. Did anybody read business admin here or finance? Many of us. Did they teach you this in finance school? They will never teach it. I'm going to teach you 2 things you will never learn in finance school, whether you're an accountant or you read business admin like me, or you read finance, or you read marketing. In day 1 kobo at 100%. In day 2 will yield how much? 1.1 times 1 is equal to 1.1. Abi? In day 3, 1.1 times 100%. Who has a calculator? Oh yeah. How much? 1 times 100%. No? It should be it should be more than 1.10. The most important step, and the first one, is you must invest in yourself. People don't understand this. Life. It will have meaning as you go along. Let's go to the next slide. Ideas. We will take some time here. The most powerful one you can ever have, what goes on in your mind? I don't know how to quote the Bible. I'm not a good Bible quoter, but there's somewhere in the Bible that says, as he thinks, so is he. You are what you think you are, no matter what you say outside. Yes, they say there's power, but you see, the tongue can be slippery. The mind, you know, they say it is body, soul, and spirit. Your spirit may be thinking of something else, and when we talk of body, soul, and spirit, which one has it? Which one has spirit? You know what it says? I can do all things. For many years, this was my motto in life. When I read a book by that man, Robert Visepil. You know, I didn't graduate with you guys. I repeated a year. I repeated from 3. So my uncle now came to me and said, Niyi, don't worry. I know why you are not doing well in school. I know why. Yes. I was early about. You know now. NFA. And he gave me that book to read. Now, the guy that gave me this book to read was actually a Muslim. He brought that book from US. My dad not sent it, but facilitated his going to US, and he brought it after I finished the studies. And one day he confessed to me that, do you know that I never read that book? But he gave it to me, and I read it, and I managed to pass. Even for that Form 3, I was promoted on trial to Form 4. I have been down, but I have never been out. And the reason I've never been out is that idea that, do you know that it was in that Form 3 when I was repeating that I made up my mind that I can be an accountant. Although it never really actualized until many years later, because along the way I derailing that I did not want to study accounting. But one thing I want to tell you is that in life you must always be positive. No matter the adversity. But you see, when you talk of investment, it's not about money. People say that there is nobody to sponsor them. There is nobody to help them. By the time I was repeating Form 3, things happened. My dad, it was at that time he had lost his job due to illness. He could not pay his house rent. And my elder brother and I started telling each other. Incidentally, he now repeated Form 4. So I caught up with him again. I was like, we were telling each other, Allah ti ṣe dáadáa o. And somebody saw my elder brother's results. Even though he failed, it was my mom's uncle. Said, how can they fail him in this school? And he decided to pay our school fees. And I went to boarding house. That was how I got to boarding house in Form 4, second term. But if I had not made up my mind before that I have to pass, and it was not easy. I will tell you something. I never passed mathematics from 1 to Form 5, promotion to Form 5, but I passed it for school sat, C5. I don't know what they do these days. I had C5, and that's why I could read accounting. It was a culmination of I must pass maths. I was getting 10, 20. So by the time I got promoted to Form 5, I got 41 or 42. Hope rising. Do you think my value was not rising by that time? My stock was rising. So it's not about money. I was already worth something. I graduated with grade 1. Can you believe it? You know, after you guys left, my set, we were 200. 55 of us had grade 1. I was one of them. See, I have to personalize some things because I want you to relate. I don't know what the type of lives you might have been going through, but it all starts from you. I have mentored a lot of young ones, and I know the only difference between success and failure in life is for you to accept where you are wrong and change. Don't blame others. It's always about you. What adversity or what are the adversities befalling you that some other people have not gone through in life? Why we have been saying, Riro is nothing new under the sun. So what are you going through that some people, thousands of people have not gone through? Then the second one about ideas is you must have big dreams. In Genesis 37:7-9, you know that young guy that said that he had a dream, and I think the first one was that I think he saw some sheep were bowing down, and then the second one he said the moon and the stars were bowing down for him. I don't know which one came first again. He had a dream. He had a big dream. See, you have every right to dream big. You see, my theory is this, and I believe I'm right. The bigger the dream, the better for you. Never look at your circumstances. Albert Einstein, you know the man. They say he had the best brain, but he said that it was not about having the best brain. He said imagination is more important than knowledge. Some of you may know this. When Albert Einstein was in secondary school, or was it primary school, they used to stand him in a corner. Do you know what they used to put on his head? A dunce cap. That was the education then. And look at what he did. He said he became what he became because of his imagination. And I will let you know what leads to imagination. You know, when we were young, we used to go to disco parties. This group sang a song, Imagination Takes You High. Some of you may know that song here. Some of them will know old school. Me, I'm old school. I don't listen to all the current songs. It takes you high. You can only get as high as your imagination. Some people thought that someone said America must get to the moon, and America got there. It's imagination. Someone thought that it can make a machine to fly, and machines are now flying. It was imagination. Then you dream your dreams. You have your imaginations. How do you actualize your dreams? Wow, This is one part of the Bible I like. Do you have it that you can just flash it for us? Let us just read it together. Philippians 4:8. There are some areas in the Bible that I cannot just stop reading them. Even though I don't read the Bible as often as I will want. You can't blame me. I won't get to tonight now until maybe 9. When I leave this place, I have a meeting with someone. I must go there. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest. Yes, this is King James. I like it in King James, especially New King James. The old King James gives me headache at times, but New King James, I love it. Whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, what is it say we should do? What you are thinking, what is it? You are having ideas. How can I generate good reports? How can I think of doing good things? Is it the quality of your ideas matter? And everything. The woman had control of the husband. Everything would have been his. And he refused. What happened to him? He went to jail. In the quest of investing in your life, you have to forego. That you'll be blaming yourself for foregoing it. When I joined my present office, I joined them, and we had a month then. I was one of the staff in OREBAJO office in Lagos, and our target was 80 million. And the head of the office called us. We were not meeting targets. We were collecting between 30 to 40 million, and there were always queries every month. And the man called us. What can we do? Monthly. That was 1995. Monthly. And the man called us. I had been there for about 4 months then. I joined them March 95. And I was coming as a treasurer from the local government in Ogun State. I had a job with 2 official cars then, and I left it for a job with no car. In fact, I was taking funky train from Songwater to Oshodi, and I would take bus to my office. I left a job with 2 official cars, because when I left Ogun State, I was treasurer in Adodot and local government for 4 years. I was treasurer in Jebode local government for 2.5 years. And people said that guy is crazy. Because I was seeing money. I was seeing money, oh, forget it. And I left it for a job where, and the answer say, yes, I didn't even see. But that's not the story. The story is that the man now said we should do an assignment, and some people felt we are assessment officers. Why should we be doing collection job? And I told them, okay, I will do it. So I went to my friends in Lagos State Treasury Office. The withholding tax that you collect from contractors, where do you pay? They said, the money is there. We pay where do you? I said, look, I have a mandate from my office. And they discussed with their guys, and they started giving me check. The first check I brought was for 15 million. The whole office, 80 million. Me, I brought a check of 15 million. Then one day I brought a check of 29 million. Target for the office, 80 million. One guy now called me. He said, the guy was in the cashier's office. He said, the guy, come. You are just bringing this money and wasting it. There's something we can do with this check. I said, what is it? Me, I know. I said, what is it? He said, this check, I know some bankers. We will go to central bank. They will divide it into 3. We will share 1/3. 1/3 of 50 million is 5 million naira in 1995. 5 million naira in 1995 is more than, it's 100 billion now. Yeah. It's like 100 billion now. Yeah. It's like 100 billion now. I said, Motigbo, you have to use wisdom. If you tell you don't do, it can enjoy you. So the next check they wanted to give me was for Julius Berger, and I told the man. Funnily, I met that man somewhere about 3 months ago in Abuja here. He's still in Julius Berger. I said, follow me to the office. Tell my Oga that you want them to write the receipts of this on time and the credit notes. So the man followed me. So I told them, you see, the man followed me. I cannot use this check. And that was what I was doing. That guy was dismissed later for something similar. I would have been dismissed. He was dismissed, I think, maybe year 2000 and something. I would have been dismissed. Today I'm a director there, and he's gone. Remember Joseph, don't take shortcuts. Small steps in the right direction can turn out to be the biggest steps in your life. So don't take small steps in the wrong direction. I have spent a lot here because this is where the cocoa is. Next slide, please. Knowledge. Genesis 1 says, he told you to go and multiply. to have children. Abi? Colinti, he sang one song. Kama BC, Timare. Any knowledge you have, you must apply it appropriately. You know what God told Joshua? He says, this book, you must do what? Read it. But there's something at the end. He said, good success. Not success. So there are many types of success. And whatever knowledge, you see, if you want to invest, before you do any investment of any type, read very well. Ask questions. Satisfy yourself that even if that investment fails, you will tell yourself that you have tried. I've done a lot of investments that fail, but the ones that succeed, I don't tell people. I buy and sell properties, but I've bought properties that they have collected from me. But the ones that have made profit will cover for the loss. That's why being doing due diligence with property. So there's no investment you are going to do in life that will not have its attendant risk. But the one that has no risk is one you do with yourself. You need specialized knowledge of anything, but that knowledge is not enough. Because in life, you did not do everything on your own. You must leverage on people that know more than you. But when you leverage on people that know more than you, you have to be curious. You must develop a curious mentality. You must always be asking questions. I quoted Albert Einstein the other time. He had that great theory because he was curious. Why should this thing be? Why must we have a camera standing alone? Why can't we have a camera inside something that we used to call? Somebody thought about it. It was curiosity. Curiosity does not kill the cat. Oh, that is another Ashipa way that they do. There are so many idioms or whatever that we say that we bandy about. As I said, I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious. Find out. They tell you to do this investment. Find out. Satisfy yourself. Some people will go into a poultry farm and make a success of it as an investment, and some will go and make a failure of it. Look very well. Most of the issues are about people not being prepared enough. Why are they not prepared enough? They have little knowledge of what they want to do, or they have inadequate knowledge of what they want to do. It's not about luck. That reminds me of something. I read one book about this Reverend John Hagee. I don't know whether some of you have heard it. He said there's nothing like luck. I read that book about 18 years ago, and I applied it. If you want to invest in yourself, you must read a lot. You must know a lot of things. He said luck is called learn under correct knowledge. That's the meaning of luck. And it's true. There's nothing like luck. You position yourself into a place of luck. And there are so many things you do. So you want to invest. The time is now. Start investing in yourself. Before you put any cash outlay, first spend your time to think, what do I think about? And how do I think about them? What are the proper things to do? What is my state of mind? Then your time. You must invest your time to research. You want to spend money? Money comes last. Most investments don't even come with money. It's from an idea. You use what we call OPM. Know what OPM means? Other people's money. It is your idea that they will invest on. Then, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let me tell you a story about that. There are so many stories of that. When I was writing ICANN in those days, I started in the local government in a big town called Ayetoro. People that know Ogun State. And one thing about Ayetoro is that we had lights for about 30 days in the year. Yeah, so when you wash your shirt, you just flap it and hang it to dry. And I started reading for ICANN with lantern. And I will drive. I was lucky I had a car. I collected car loan, 4,800. I bought a B2. And I will drive from Lagos, from Ayetoro to Lagos. The roads were good then. And I had a good boss. We used to close at 3:30. And he tell me, once it is so close, and I will get to the lecture hall around 6. They start 6 to 9. And by 4:45, I'm on the road going back to Ayetoro. And I will get to office before 7:30. We used to take daily lectures. And I will do it every day. There was a day, they shone a light into me. I went into the bush. I came back again. If I had died, that is the end. It is a risk. Some of my colleagues said, that stress is set then. 2 guys left early, BC and Kenny. BC became boss of University of Abuja here. Kenny became director in one of the banks in Lagos. He was the financial director of National Oil. The 3 of us are qualified. One was in Odeda, extreme north. Me, I was in Ayetoro, extreme west. The other guy was in Abigi, extreme east of Ogun State. And we will drive from there to Lagos and go back. The guy in Abigi later became boss of Unilag for 8 years. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. But there's always a price to pay. Your time, your idea. With that one alone, I was able to leverage myself. And I was doing a lot of things. I wrote books. I make money. I wrote books. I lectured. I do accounting work. And I buy and sell. So before you think of what you have to do in life, that you want to invest, the priority is yourself. The steps you are going to take. I'm not a businessman. My wife is more of a businesswoman. She does a lot of things. She's in Abuja here. She sells gari. Can you believe it? She sells gari. Gari Jebu. She told me 5 years ago that anything that she cannot do from her phone or laptop, she's not going to do it. She used to have a stall. She has no stall again. She will call on phone. Oyibo ti saye dero. You know, technology has made things simple. She will call them in Ijebu. Somebody will carry from Ijebu to ABC Motors. They will drop it or bring it to our house. That's another form of investment. But before you do all those things, before you buy that property, before you buy those shares, it's all about you. How you prepare yourself. Eliminate criticism. Problems will come. You'll be poor in it too. You'll be poor in it. Poverty can come. But you see, one thing about poverty, the worst thing about poverty is poverty of ideas. If you can eliminate that, you have no problem. Thanks for listening to me. That's all I have to say for now on investments. May the Lord bless you all. Told I have about 1 hour and some minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know whether you will take questions. I will love to answer them. The ones I can't answer, the Holy Spirit will guide me.
So do we have questions? We must have questions. Ijebugari question. I'm sure about it.
Yeah? Let's ask. You know, there is a theory. My friend told me this theory, the theory of first accused. When anything happens, people don't want to talk. But let me tell you the theory of first accused. I was born and bred in Lagos. And I've lived in Lagos all my life until June last year when the office in His Wisdom brought me to Abuja. Lagos is peculiar for hold up. So when you see people in those days in the hold up, everybody will be looking at their mirrors. The one man will just pull out and go and follow one way or follow up the culvert. Within a few seconds, people will tell you follow him. That man is the first accused. All of us will now follow him. Because the So after you ask, and I notice when people talk or even in school, people will not ask questions, but immediately somebody asks a question, what will happen? There's a floodgate, so you are the first accused.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. Okay, my first question is not a question. I did Gary business too, and I stopped at some point, so I would love to meet your wife, even if it has to be to talk to her, to ask 1 or 2 questions, because I actually faced some difficulties at some point, so I had to...
Were you selling or you planted?
I was selling, I was buying, sending through ABC too.
Okay.
Yes, so I encountered some blockings and everything.
Issues?
Yes.
What was the blocking?
Okay, so it was during the lockdown. So I was buying at a very high rate. It was really high. And then transport was also very high. So when I got to when I get the goods to Abuja, and then you tell people this is the amount, and they're like, how exactly do you want me to buy at that rate? So that one came first. And then the second one was selling to people, actually meeting them. And then there were some few people I met. My target audience were the Yoruba people majorly. So I tried to like reach out to them, oh, this thing, because I heard about Gary from camp. A life mentor came and then he spoke about it. So I just thought, okay, this thing, I'm going to do it. And after camp, I started doing it. So after that time, relating to people, selling to them, they tell you they have somebody they buy from, and then you have to like bring down your own price just for them to like try your product. So at some point, I was losing my capital while trying to make sales. So those things, like trying to balance my capital, and I wasn't even looking at the profit at the time.
I don't have the answers for you, but I will tell you this. One thing in life, there is perseverance. You know, I said it. Somebody will do a business and make it, and that person will do it and fail. But during that period, you started with the coronavirus period, or shortly before?
Shortly before.
What I noted was that during that period, I was actually at home. All of us were at home, and our Gary was at home. Fortunately, my wife has staying power. I think she was selling a bucket of Gary for 900 naira then. We use paid buckets in Lagos. I don't know what to use here. They said they call it Modu or something like that. For 900 naira. And the people in the estate where we were staying in Okoba GRA, phase 2 in Abulegba. They say, this thing is 600 naira now, 700 naira. My wife said she's not going to sell, and she put it there. Shortly after I came to Abuja, she joined me 2 months later. But before she joined me, she told me that, Papa T, do you know that I sold my garri for 1,200? Yeah. And I was like, how did you do it? He said there was no garri in town. Lagos State decided to distribute garri. And they took all the garris in that side. You know, when they say garri Jebu, I'm an Ijebu man. And although I was born and bred in Lagos, I was close to home at the time. I even worked in Ijebu as their local government treasurer. So we know the garri that is real garri Jebu. There are so many garri Jebus. So what my wife will do is that my wife will if people come to my house, she will give them garri. After 2 months, they will come back and buy. So all the people that said the garri was expensive, there was now no garri in town. And the garri they were buying for 700 naira now became like 1,000 naira. And that garri had sand. So they now came to her. Meanwhile, they told her that Lagos State is buying garri to distribute as what they are calling the palliative. Yeah. So she said she booked 20 bags and paid. I told her, leave it there. So when people were starting for a garri, and she knew they were buying 1,000, she said, my garri is no longer 900, it's 1,002. They will go initially, but they will come back and buy it. You see, it's about business, but you can talk more with her. When you do business, you know, I told you you will lose money, but you need staying power. It's like the persistent widow. But it's not good when you don't have at your level. What you should be doing is, what do they call it? You match markets. You don't commit your money. You get people that need and you get them. It is difficult, it is hard, but it is doable. There's nothing in life that is easy to do. You understand? But you will talk to her. She will tell you some of the things she does.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So
you want to ask a question? I saw your hand. Before you go, let her talk, so that we don't monopolize the conversation.
Thank you, sir. You explained that you were the treasurer at 2 local governments.
Yeah.
So I want to know the reason why, because I want to believe, being in local governments, there was prospects actually of climbing the ladder. Let me put it that way.
Serious prospects, very serious prospects.
You actually
some of my colleagues became PAMSECs in Ogun State.
So I want to know the reason why you actually left all that comfort to start up, at IFR.
Do you know the reason? I had big dreams and I had vision. Many of us left the local governments. Some of us left, but 2 of us left. We had vision, we thought about the vision, and we had big dreams. As at that time, I had spent 9.5 years. I had spent 9 years preparing AFS annual budget. And I told myself, this is what I will do for the next 35 years of my life. No. I knew I was bigger than local government. You see, life, I tell people, life is not always about money. And I sat down and I looked at the situation that there's one thing about life. Everything has its ups and downs. And I told my people, this situation cannot continue like this forever. That is why companies reinvent themselves. Companies that don't reinvent themselves, they die. When I was telling my colleagues, first of all, many of them did not bother to write ICANN. Some of them that wrote qualified like 10, 15 years after I had finished. They were now too old to enter the market at any level. You understand? Like I told you, I had 2 official cars, 504 station wagon as the treasurer. They used to call me Omo Eko. I used to come from Ota to Ijebode. So I had 2 drivers and 2 cars. And I was coming early every day. And I told my wife, I like coming from Lagos because I don't want Lagos to leave me. You know, if you want to build yourself up, you must sacrifice some things. See, we were making easy money. During that 1993 Abiola, some of you may not be born then. Apologies, so you don't know what I'm saying. When they did that Abiola election, and they said it was nullified for about 5 or 6 months, most civil servants in Nigeria did not get paid. They did not get paid. As at that time, I had qualified, and I looked at it. Is this what we are going to sit down on? Even though we did not get paid, in my house, we never missed a meal. We had food. My wife had a shop. She was a newscaster with LTV8 then, but she had a shop. She was selling, so we were feeding. But I looked at it. Every week, we will prepare 4 vouchers. I'm ashamed to say this now, but don't use it as an example outside. I just want to tell you 4 vouchers. The secretaries to local government will collect 1,000. You understand? The internal auditor will collect 1,000. Myself and my account staff will collect 2,000, 1,000 naira voucher every Friday. My salary was 600 or 700 naira a month, and I had access to 1,000 naira a week, so I cannot be broke. And I said I was going. Oria will pay. You understand? I had a car. My wife had a car. Do you know something? My wife, where she was working, the rate they promote her, I think because of the nature of her job, they were promoting her every 2 steps. My wife started from level 4, went to level 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10. When my wife got to level 12, I was still of level 10 in the local government. She was collecting more salary than me, but I was richer than her. And I left it because I saw a vision. Even the vision I saw there was that I had job offers. We pay me 50,000 naira a month, per annum. But I sat down. I worked for government for nearly 10 years, and I knew the ins and outs of government. And I decided that if I go, it is a government job I will pick up. And I actually had the chance of 2 jobs. I was to become the chief accountant of Lagos State Transport Corporation. It never took off. They were to revamp it. They had shown me my official house. But I told my wife that the first offer I see is the one for me. And the first one that came was FRS, and I left. And I didn't look back. You see, at times when things are rosy, you need to sit down and look into the future and project what will the future be. My colleague that left too, we had the same problem. When we left, everything went down. At the end of the day, my colleague found his way. He did MSc in Lagos, found his way to US. He's a pastor of a church in US, and that church is the most diversified in Sacramento. At least he has nationalities from about 36 different countries in that church now. And he's still working. In fact, it was just 5 years ago that the church was paying him salary. And he has 3 houses now. When he got to US, he went to school, did another MSc, and got a job. And this guy even was making more money than me when we were both in the local government, and we left. And now, do you know what happened? When the politicians came, the allocation of local government, the state government pockets is, so it gives the local government money for salaries, so they don't spend anything again. and they cannot do anything again. And today, many local governments all over the country, they owe them salaries. When we were in the local government, we used to construct roads. We tar roads. We do rural electricity. They don't do it again. But I knew that time will come. I was like projecting. I'm not a prophet. Please, I'm not a prophet. So don't say it's prophetic gift. I just sat down and I thought it had. Even though I was prayed about it. You understand?
Okay, thank you, sir. So concerning, you started with cryptocurrency investment, things we can invest in. Then you talked about cryptocurrency, how we should buy and hold instead of trading.
I missed the boat. I knew Bitcoin when it started. I was skeptical. Even though I have a few Bitcoins, I don't know the amount. I've not bothered to check. I told my wife when I retire that I'll go and check it.
Okay, sir. So,
but I missed the boat. Because I remember in 2006 or 7, I think my last address as president of my cooperative in FRS, I told them that the latest investment is cryptocurrency, that people should buy it and try and keep it for 10 to 20 years to see what will happen. It's 15 years later. I would have bought it at less than $1. Do you know how much one is now? They say it has gone down from 50 something to 40 something. If I had bought 100 then, if I had bought 100 then at $500, you can imagine, I would just walk away. I'll just walk away from the job I'm doing now, but I have to struggle. I do mining, no, not physically. I do mining, but it's not easy. And let me correct that, my wife does mining, so I support her with it. But the one we are mining, if there was a time the thing was losing money, my wife was like crying. I said, no, baby, you decided to make me do mining. I better shut up. Maybe in 5-10 years time, the value of that one will go up. It's an investment. But one thing my wife and I tell each other, if we invest on anything and we agree on it, if we lose money on it, we don't blame each other, we don't blame anybody. You take your losses and you rub it on your body. Because the day you make money from your investments, nobody will hear about it. Unless I tell you like I'm telling you now. One day, we used to sell salt and sugar. One day somebody came and told my wife, said, go and buy trailer loads of salt too. At that time, we were making profit of like 2% on every bag of salt. And she told me, that's something I should have said. You should examine yourself, the level of your risk you are prepared to take when you do some investments. And me, I'm a little bit more risk taker. I'm not an extreme risk taker, but when you see average, I'm above average as a risk taker. And I told her, let's go and buy. Toba Dominco, if they don't buy it, we went and bought 2 trailer loads. Our shop had capacity for half a trailer load. And we bought 2 trailer loads. Don't tell me how we stored it. Forget. Where there's a will, there's a way. I can't even remember how we stored it. 2 or 3 weeks after we bought, Daikon closed shop. There used to be Daikon in Lagos. They closed the factory. And they didn't open until March. And they closed. Normally they will close factory 2 weeks before Christmas. So we bought, thinking that when they close 2 weeks before Christmas, people that want to, they will use a lot of salt during Christmas. By January, salt will be a bit scarce. They will open 2 weeks after Christmas. So we can make 10% to 15% profit. By the time we sold our salt, we sold it times 3. So what are you saying? We could have lost, but we gained. If it's not something that we lost, so I don't want to depress you, I won't tell you. You see why when I want to talk about investment, why I emphasize on you and yourself is people think investment is only about putting money in something and doing this type of business. I will not tell you what business to do. What pays for you may not pay for me. But the thing is, you build yourself up in all areas, and there's always a learning curve. But I've been investing for a long time. There are so many things I could tell you, because when you talk about investments, you need training for 1 year minimum. One of the things is never spend any money you have. Don't spend everything, no matter how poor you are. And when you talk of poverty, I have one. When I was in UDLAG, I was 011. My first year in UDLAG, I will walk from Chobolu to UNILAG. In fact, for the 4 years I spent in UNILAG, I never paid for official accommodation until the last year, where it was compulsory. So I got a friend to pay for the bed space and we shared it. But I was never broke. I will have at least 20 kobo in my pocket, no matter what. Sometimes I won't eat for a day, but I have 20 kobo. So my brother said, I told her I can never. It was later I read some books and they said, pay yourself first. Any money you earn, before you give somebody, set something aside for yourself and invest it on something. But I was doing it intuitively. I just had a policy that money must never finish in my hand. And sometimes I will eat today and eat tomorrow. In fact, on Friday, I was not having lectures on Friday, so I will just take 1 naira soile to Jebode from Lagos. You know what you call soile? These people that don't enter garage, it was 1 naira. Put all the marry something. I just took 8,500. I just took 4,500 out of the money and paid the deposit. He said, I will balance you 4,000 in 6 months' time. And I bought the land. The marriage nearly failed though. So a friend borrowed me 2,000. My wife's best made the cloth we wore at the reception, got it for us. That day at the reception, when they were giving us money, she was busy counting the money. At the end of the day, say, Eloni, Otito Washo. It was jacquard. So we paid. But I sold that plot of land for 30,000 naira. How much did I buy it? I bought it 8.5 in 1991. I sold it for 30,000 in 1993. Is it not more than 100%? I gave my wife 20,000 naira. 10,000, we bought some things for the house. I can't remember. That 20,000 was the foundation of the shop she had and all the businesses we are doing till today. No, sorry. I gave her 10,000. 20,000, I bought another plot of land. 40,000 naira, I paid half. That is where I built my first house in 1995. Later, I bought a plot of land beside that, my house for my wife, for 150,000 naira. Some years later, I bought my how much? 40,000. I bought hers about 4 years later for 150,000. Do you know how much my wife sold it? Some years later, 3.8 million. What we do, many of you can't do it too. Because my wife and I, me, I'm the CEO, I'm the policy. She's the chief executive. So that money we jointly spent it, frankly. We jointly spent it. Because I don't put your money down at home. Because she will go to the She has access. We have 3 types of bank accounts. We have a joint one, which I've not signed for so many years. Then I have my own, and she has her own. So when she wants to give her relatives some money, even though she will tell me, she will take for her. If I want to give my relatives some money, even though I will tell her, I will take for them. You know, as a man now, I may not tell her it is 20,000. She may think, I'm not lying, no. She may think, I want to give them some money, but maybe 20,000. She will think it's 10,000. She too, she will not tell me it may be 20,000. I may think it's 10,000. But the one in the house, she controls it. Okay. Any question? Yeah. 1, 2.
Good evening,
Mr.
sir.
Man.
Good evening, sir.
I want to give the man because he's the first man.
Good evening, sir. So I have a quick question for you. As a young person who has a lot of business ideas and things I know would definitely work out, but you know the problem now is money, investments. Like, do you advise?
Money.
Yeah, money.
Money.
So do you think?
Money. Got to get my hands on some.
So
You know that song?
Yeah.
Fatback Band. Oh yeah.
So do you think I should be patient and build enough capital for myself, or look for investors?
Now, going back to my lecture, every excellent business is not always about money. You did fine arts. Say yes. Your fine arts will pay for your school. Do you know what I told her? I said she should go and do it. Why don't you, the head of this place, this big hospital, why don't you find maybe the day of his birthday? That idea I just said to you, the day of his birthday. Do a good painting, do it by yourself. On his birthday, go and present it to him. If it is a woman, say mommy. If it's a man, say daddy. I just felt on your birthday, this is the only thing I can give to you. And see what will happen. She was looking at me like this. Say, big man like that, how can I get to it? I said, try it, it's an idea. To convince her, I now said, in 2004, there was a cleaner in our office. They earned like 12,000 naira a month then, in those days. So was it, I think 12,000 is current rate, maybe like 6,000. And on that Christmas week, we were a specialized unit, 45. And all of us were senior officers in that office. She gave all of us a very fine card. Say, Oga, Christmas card here is her. And I looked at the card. This card. And I realized she gave all of us. This card is like times 2 or 3 of this woman's salary. And I gave her money as a Christmas gift. The value, let me give you an analogy. I gave all cleaners in our office for 1,000 for Christmas. I gave her 5,000. I can't remember, but that was just what I did. I gave her 5,000. One of my colleagues gave her 10,000. The head of the office gave her like 20,000. So my colleague, lucky man said, Baba Ore, do you know that Obìnrin ló gbọ́n jù nínú àwọn cleaner yẹn? I said, what do you see? Oh, the Bobo to Tirek law and it's over 100,000 naira. I said, don't tell me. It's an idea. Invest in ideas. Don't invest in money. That's why I said that book of Proverbs. Say it's a deep something. I don't know how to quote. It's there. Proverbs 25 or so. Go there. Think of something you can do. My lady.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is in business too.
It has to be. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
Even though I didn't tell you what business to invest in.
Okay,
But,
sir. Just like she mentioned, people underbuying or stuff with her business and it folded up. I used to sell crayfish. Something like that happened. I sell crayfish and clothing, but I'm still in the clothing line. But the crayfish part is closed.
How do you sell your crayfish?
Okay, I sell in modules. I measure it and then seal it up.
What type of seal do you use?
This
Normal nylon.
No, not normal. this seal
That's
with
Ziploc seal.
not the Ziploc. I used to buy this
Machine, sealing machine.
not sealing machine. I used
Stapler.
to seal
Oti
the
boroje.
up. So
Oti boroje. When you want to package, I did business admin, so I know a little bit of marketing. Even though I know I'm not a good marketer. But when you want to package things that other people are doing to other people, you shoot yourself in the foot if you do it the same way people are doing it. That is why I said your worth. If you do it the same way other people are doing it, that is why the Oyibo call it packaging. You should do it in a special way that people will see it and value it and come and buy it.
okay, sir.
You understand? Because look, what you are giving to them, you just stapled it. They don't see any value in it. I don't know how you can do it, but you need to do it in such a way that they will beat a path to your door. I don't know how it is going to be. You understand? I don't know how it is going to be. I have so many ready examples I can give you, but it will be like parroting all the textbooks that I've read. I don't want to parrot those textbooks. But there are so many unique ways. Like I tell people, you say you are into fashion. There's a difference between a fashion designer and a tailor. Many people are tailors. Only a few people are fashion designers. I know a lady, and I told her, yes, you're a fashion designer. She does not sew clothes. She designs for some companies that do dresses. And when they want to pay her, she does not collect money. Send me the dresses, send me the value of money you want to pay me in the dresses you have done, and they are costly dresses. And she will not even sell them above market value. So she's making money from two ends. That is idea.
Okay, sir, that's not exactly my question, but
I know.
thank you very much.
I just see, it's not only for you, it is for all of us here.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I don't know. Yes.
So should I go? Okay. So you said taking small steps. Okay. Now in the fashion, in the clothing line, still the same, like people underpricing, and you tell them this is what you are selling, and they say I can buy it. Okay, go there. You know you can buy, and they will be like, oh, I want to buy from you. Okay. At the end of the day, you sell. You give discounts or something, and then they end up dividing the money in two pieces for you by paying in instrumental.
You
when
know
you
what?
sit down and calculate your
You know
money,
what? Hold on. You are still falling into the same trap. You are still doing things the way everybody will do it. You know, this is the call idea. It does not come easily. I don't have any idea to give you. But the way you said it, you don't sow it, you buy it somewhere and you resell.
Yes, yes.
You will find a way of making what you sell to be unique. That people will see something unique in it. I don't know how.
Okay.
I can't teach it. But I can point you that it, at times, it takes trial and error. You understand what I'm saying? It takes trial and error. Let me give you an example. I read that one in the book, shall. One man had a grocery shop, was selling groceries. And suddenly, two supermarkets opened, one to the right and one to the left. I don't know whether some of you have read this story somewhere. Pastor, have you read it somewhere? There was a supermarket to the right, big one, a supermarket, shop right to the right. Which one do we have in Abulegba? Just right to the left. And this is Niyi sons and daughters, Kideko. And the man did not know what to do. And he was losing sales. Do you know what he did? He changed his door to find doors that supermarkets use. And he bought a big signboard in red. It just wrote entrance. So people coming from afar, it's entrance they will see. and they will enter his shop. Because he was selling exactly the same thing those people are selling, and they bought from him, and were buying from him, and were buying from him, and he built a big store somewhere else. He still had that entrance. And when those people can say, entrance is the name of my store, what's your problem? It's an idea. You see, if you have a challenge in life, a challenge is an opportunity for you to think positively on how you can solve it. Don't think of the problem. It sounds funny. When I read it, I was like, and people started going there, entrance. Is it not entrance?
And also, I think even earlier on, you said about staying power. The thing about sales and getting your price is the ability to stick with your price and your conditions. There's a young girl I know. She does artwork.
You know, my wife did that with Gary. I told you.
Exactly. Just hold it. She sells artwork, and they pay her like £15,000 for one piece of artwork. So I asked her, "How do you get that price?" She said, "Pastor, it's because I hold that price. I'm not desperate, so I hold on to that price."
She may be hungry.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So if you hold on to the price, they will eventually go. If you have the value in your product, they will come back.
Then please learn a skill. You know what? We read 10 books.
She's Igbo. That's what I'm saying.
You know what we call Alakowe? People of the book. Office worker. That's what Yoruba is called Alakowe. But when I was doing that job, I told myself, I cannot go back to learn this craft. But I learned a skill. And that skill is accounting. That's a profession. A lawyer will work for life. An accountant will work for life. A doctor will work for life. A painter will work for life. A vulcanizer will work for life. My staff was stealing money at the Bottle Park at Ijebode. I know as an accountant I'm an auditor, and I caught him. And I carried him to his uncle. I've done it so many times because when you work at that level, they will use juju to kill you. Or somebody will just come and rob your house and kill you. And I caught him. And I told his uncle, "Daddy, this guy, if he's selling," he was altering books, which is even very bad. And he was eating and leading. He said, the money is not enough for him. And I said, which school did you go? But that school. What trade did you learn? He said, he learned no trade. I said, okay. And the uncle said, "See, when he was young, I told you to go and learn vulcanizer work. That even what did they call that something that they use? They have one engine. They use this fridge, this AC or fridge, or this compressor. That look, the compressor, the man came and brought it. I said, hey. I said, Daddy, he's going to learn vulcanizer work. And I took it to one garage in the Ijebode, Idobi. And I went and met the head of the National Union. Who is the biggest vulcanizer here? I said, come, this is my brother. He will be closing at work for some time. He will come and be learning vulcanizer work. The guy is still there. He resigned. He learned that vulcanizer work. And he was making money. You know, see, some of these artisans, and that is where Philippians 4:8 comes in, are richer than many of us who are so-called government workers. My electrician at Joshua has 5 houses in Lagos, but you never know. Daddy, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. He's honest, he's straightforward, he knows his job. And his money, the day he told my wife that he has 5 houses, my wife said, My wife said, I know you have 2 houses and you told me you are doing another house. I said, mommy, so learn something. That is where time comes. You know, I told you about 3 things: your idea, your time, your effort. Use your time wisely. What are you doing with your time? Yes, sir. You can see you are the first accused now. If you don't take care, they won't allow us to go.
All right.
Sit down, don't worry.
Good evening, sir.
I'm the only one allowed to stand apart from the ushers. And I can stand because I used to be an usher in church.
Good evening, sir. My name is John. My question is...
Yeah, I like you. You are the only one that told me your name. Out of everybody. That's unique. You must always be different.
Thank you.
See. No, don't clap. I want you to learn a lesson. Something must always distinct you. So you are John the Beloved.
Thank you, sir.
Want to jealous, eh? Oh yeah, continue.
All right. Sometime in 2018, I read a book by Akin Alabi tagged Small Business, Big Money. So in that book, he talked about why most entrepreneurs fail, and then he gave an advice that before you set up a business, that the 21st century business is all about solving problems. So
it has never been 21st century. Since the ages.
All right, okay, sir.
Since the ages. There were some things I missed in that my speech. Oh yeah, continue.
All right, sir. So that is all about solving problems, and you check in the environment you find yourself what is lacking, or a problem the people are facing which you could solve, thereby earning money and making it a business. So, and he now talked about maybe a certain place whereby there are many people who are selling a certain product, and you venturing into this thing without maybe bringing in some kind of uniqueness, or trying to
uniqueness,
or trying to persevere in your act, that's to make much sales. And so that affected my thinking, because after reading that book and attending one of his seminars in Lagos, then it affected my thinking. So I took like a whole week. I started thinking. So I thought of my environment.
Did you stop thinking?
No.
You are still thinking. Continue.
All right.
You must not stop.
I thought of my environment. I thought of my secondary environment. So whatever idea that comes to me, the answer would come, look at people who are selling this. Look at people who are doing this. At the point I thought of opening a barbing shop, and in as much as I don't know how to barb, based on I will employ some people, then the answer came to me. Look at, there are many barber shop around, people who are so skillful. So at the end of the day, what I centered on was services. That I while going through his book, I said on the services that no matter how many servicemen are out there that you could do well with your services, then if setting up an offline business, or a business whereby you have to interact with people or sell something, and it should be agriculture, because no matter how many people who are in agriculture, people eat every day. So, but I still see people who go into offline businesses and do well. Why this mentality?
Sorry, let me stop you. How many people are ashamed of serving other people? Many of us are. I hope there's no Igbo man here. That's why I like Igbo men. An Igbo man will open a buka and they'll be serving people until he makes money. Most people say, you know, you talked about the word service. You know, in my lecture, there was something fundamental I missed, the financial. It was as I was talking, I remembered. Go stroll to financial. Okay, I think you have it there. I did not talk about it. It's very important. Compound interest. Do you know what compound interest is? You see, this statement is also attributed to Albert Einstein. Some people will tell you it's a lie. If you Google it, some people will say he actually said it. He said this is probably the most powerful force in the universe. But people see compound interest in terms of money alone. It's in terms of the time you have invested. There's a compound interest to it. To learn things. You've thought of so many ideas. There is this man that they said invented the light bulb. What's his name now? Thomas Edison. They now say somebody else did it. But one thing I know Edison was good at was Edison used to attract brains around himself. You know, I said this here that you may specialize, but it's better you let people do some things for you. They told Edison that you've tried to do the light bulb. I don't know whether it's true. You've tried to do it like 970 times or 1,000 times. Say yes. I only know 1,000 ways that it cannot be done. He didn't see the negative side of it. You may be thinking, and you are thinking, and you are thinking, and you think, well, it's not one thought one day will gel for you. You are used, many of you like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I know because I used to have youths in my house until they all flew the nest. You eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. The man made it at the age of 66 years. I'm only for 58 years old. So I always tell my wife that by the time I'm 66, like that Colonel Sanders, I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm not yet one. You know, I demonstrated compound interest to you. And if you go to the Bible, you see compound interest in action. This man, Joseph, he told the Egyptian king, 20% of the gross domestic product of Egypt, save it. You know the Bible verse I'm now quoting. If you remember, I said 20% of the grains. That's the way they could have said it. It was actually 20% of the gross domestic product. It was not only grains. It was 20% of the wealth. Don't consume it, save it. And they saved it for 7 years. And when there was 7 years of famine, 20 times 7 is 140, right? So it means for those 7 years that they saved, they were having 100. Abi? They were eating 80 and saving 20. 80 times 7, I don't know mathematics. 8 times 7. 560. They saved 140 and they ate 560. But when there were 7 lean years, normally they should eat 540. But they saved 140. So how did 140 satisfy them for 7 years? And people came from all the nations of the world. That was what the Bible said, to buy from them. Compound interest. So it means that by the time they started saving that money, the value was like that 560 times 10. People could come from all over to buy from them. That's one thing I want to take away with saving. You know, that was when I think, that was when I was telling you that I have money. The rule of 72. Who knows rule of 72 here? Do you know what it means? Rule of 72. They don't teach it in any business school. This is, you know, compound interest. Rule of 72 is the opposite of compound interest. It says that if you want your money or your investment, let me use investment, I don't want to use money, to double in 5 years' time, it means your investment must compound at a rate of 72 divided by 5. And I use it a lot. (72) divided by 5 is how much? 1, 2, Abi? Is it 40? No, my way, my. £14. That's the interest rate you must earn if you want 1 naira to double in 5 years' time. I did ICANN for 7 years. So no ICANN, no marriage. I will always write once a year. You will have this slogan, ICANN is a going concern. And when I started, my salary was 321 naira a month. And I will write exam for about 340 or so. And I will take lecture for about 200. And I will go and come. So I was living above my means when you look at the exam alone. But I will only write once a year. I was tactical. Whatever you want to do, do it tactically. Some people will write it out, they fail it and write it again. I will write and fail, write and pass, write and fail, write and pass. Then I wrote, instead of passing, they gave me reference. I wrote the reference, they say, come back again. Until I finally passed it, took me 7 years. But when I passed, there was a man that I used to moonlight with. Do you know what you call moonlighting? I used to go and work for him, and I was not collecting money. There was a time he called me, said, I have a mortgage bank, this finance bank in Kefi or somewhere, that you must do cash count December 31, when everybody is doing Happy New Year. And you know, I was still young then, and I was very good when you drink beer. I forsook my beer. I went to do cash in the bank and came back. When I passed and I qualified, he said he was bidding for a job with federal government to do some consultancy. So he put my name as one of his consultants. He needed 5 chartered accountants. So he put my name. And we went and did the job. I will leave my office for 2 days. I will run. The man trained me. When they paid him in 1994, I qualified in 93. We did that job in 94 or so. He paid me 50,000 naira. No, he paid me 100,000 naira in 1994. Do you know my salary? Annual salary? It was like 12,000 naira. He paid me 100,000 naira. One of my colleagues said, ABS, he collected billions for that job. Look, you, Shebi, you are you. I said, which one is my own? My salary in government is 12,000. I have worked cumulatively. I counted the days. For about 8 days, I collected 100,000 naira. Don't disturb my life. And pray that ABS gets another one, double, then he will pay me double. Do you know what has happened? I now went back and calculated all the monies I spent writing ICANN. It was not up to 15,000 naira for 7 years. So I now walked back. So that's why I said, you must invest in yourself. You know, when I left the local government, many people did not know that I had secret reserves. And that was part of the money I used to build my first house. Because I had built my house by the time I left. So I was not paying rent again. So that is the rule of 72. It tells you. Something happened to me when I was posted to Abuja. And I came during this corona something. And a lot of my colleagues were saying, where will you stay? Where will you rent? I said, God will take control. You know, in Nigeria, we like putting everything on God. God will just be looking at you like this. If you don't take steps of faith. I live in my house in Abuja. I bought that house in 2007. My wife and I drank Gary. I took cooperative loan, 3 million. I told my brother to take loan, 3 million. We joined it together till we bought that house. I left it for 2 years. Got some, after I repaid my loans, got more loan again, renovated it, rented it out at 1.2 million. I made the money on that house back. 1.2 million in 2 years. 2.4 Abi. The third year it was 2 million. The fourth year it was 2 million. The fifth year it was 2.5 million. By the time I got my house back from the tenant there, they were paying me 3.4 million a year. I've had to pay my money back. But when we bought that house, for 1 year, there's a time my car knocked, my wife's car knocked, and because my house is close to the toll gate bus stop in Ota, I just walked down to the toll gate. I used to leave home at 4:30 a.m. My office was at Broad Street. I will walk down. I will just enter funky train. Nobody knew. When I'm coming, I just walk to Dumota, enter bus. But by the time I recovered from the shock, so you see, if life is tough, but you are tougher than life if you prepare yourself for it. So when my colleagues, I told them that, no, I will stay with my friend in Lubeo. Then when my tenant goes out, I will renovate the house and I move it. They were like, how did you buy a house in Abuja? You are a Lagos boy. I said, eh. So many of them have been working in Abuja for years. They don't have. So things are not rosy. I told you when I started this lecture that you are lucky, you are young. You start early. Don't wait for ideal time. Don't spend all the money. Even if somebody is giving you money, even if you are borrowing money. People borrow a lot of money for foolish things. They borrow money to buy clothes. They borrow money to eat. Never do it. But borrow money for something that will advance you. And don't keep up with anybody. Don't catch up. When I started work, it took me like 6 months to get a pair of suits. Today, I don't know the number of suits I have. So don't say because somebody is wearing suits to church, you must wear suits to church. No be your wahala. Somebody is wearing fine shoes to church, you must wear fine shoes to church. God is not looking at the shoes you come to church with. This is where God is looking at. Know yourself. I've said that in the course of the discussion. Are you risk averse or to the other side? But it's all about you. It is what you do with your life. It is never too early. It is never too late. Just have a dream, a vision, a motive, and plan your way. And you'll be altering your plans. You still have a question?
I didn't complete my question.
Wow. No, you were making statements. You didn't make a question.
Yes.
Okay, Joseph.
So,
did I
John,
get it? John.
Last question.
John.
Last question.
So, sir, my question via my statement, that's my illustration,
Yes.
is now it has affected my mentality that...
Don't let it affect it.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that word.
All right. Okay. It's... Okay. It affected
You know,
my thinking, rather.
I'm a CAC pastor.
Yes, sir.
We like that vigil, even though I don't go again. I tell them I'm too old for that now.
Okay.
Aṣẹ́gun wa tí àjògùn ní àjẹ́ nípa ẹ̀jẹ̀ Jésù àní ìṣẹ́gun. Do you know that song?
No, I'm not
In
hearing
English, it says you are a conqueror. You are more than a conqueror in Jesus. So don't let anything. You know that song? Ain't no stopping us now. Eh? Do you know that song? Ain't no stopping us now.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no stopping us now. We got to groove. There's been so many things that held us down. But now things are starting to turn around. I know we got a long way to go. But when we get there, I don't know. Listen to that man's songs. It's a national anthem for black people that want to boost themselves up. A lot of things will hold you down. But you don't give up. Those people were songwriters. They were writing songs for a lot of artists. And the songs are making $1 million. They told themselves, what they did, we will write a song that we sing for ourselves. McFadden and Whitehead. And they wrote that song, it was #1 all over the world. That is the only song they sang that was #1. But they sang it, that nothing we hold it, we will sing our own song. So what do you want to say again?
So I'm asking, should I unlearn what I have already learned?
Unbreak my heart. Never ever unlearn. You missed it when I said that. Maybe you didn't hear me well. The man said there are only 1,000 ways I know the thing will not work. You don't need to unlearn. You are wiser for it. You see, you know, one of the first Bible verses I gave you was Philippians 4:13. Don't let nothing hold you down. Always be positive. Be happy. Don't worry. Hey, today, it is fun that is coming to my mouth. Oh, maybe another time, if I have the privilege of talking to you, it is Baba Legba that will be entering my mouth. You don't know Baba Legba. If I'm talking to older people, maybe Baba Legba will enter my mouth. Or Aruna Eshola. You know Aruna Eshola? Your dad used to play it. So don't unlearn. You are not to unlearn. You see, I told you, Bible has everything. Both for business, both for management, both for life. God will always use every impossibility to bring out a possibility. God will use your problem to bring out your solution. Those that killed Jesus thought, what were they thinking they wanted to do? They wanted to end something, but they started a revolution. You understand? So there is no problem in life. It is a training ground for you. So don't be negative. And then don't overthink. And when you are thinking, just be telling God, just God, give me your own mind. And I always tell people, when you pray, 60% is praise so, and thank. We ask too much in this country. We ask too much. I'm CSC, I know. When we go to that VG, it is either the devil should die or the witch should die. I will just be looking and laughing inside. Please, you should always be thankful that even you have that problem. What about if you are dead? It's only the person alive that can sit down here now. Sure you know. And you know when you are alive, you have hope. And it says Christ in you. The hope of what?
Last question over here. The very last question.
From the backbenchers.
Make it short and sharp.
Backbenchers not by choice, but by work. Abby, don't worry.
Short and sharp. We are.
Okay.
Sorry, I've taken your time, but Emma Binu.
Okay, so just like Joseph in the Bible.
Sorry, the first person I should know here is Debbie. Who is Debbie here?
Oh, she's this pastor's wife.
She's the one that has been communicating with me. Oh, take care of her. Take care of her.
That's a word. It's a word.
Take care of her.
It's a word, sir. Okay. Somebody write it down.
Okay, so just like Joseph in the Bible, my name is Joseph too, and
good. Alala, you dream a lot. Good.
So I have big dreams, and recently, like I have this dream for like a software that, like, I have this.
Don't tell people what it is. Look,
so
for every idea you have, more than 20 people have that same idea.
True.
No idea is unique. Oh yeah, you have the dream. So what do you want to do?
Okay, so
don't tell us that's what the software wants to do. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Because I might talk to somebody who is into software, and we can decide to go into a business. Yeah.
Okay, and I've spoken to like some. I don't develop softwares, so I just thought about it that it can work, because one thing about, I read business in school, and I know that one big source of making money is through
doing an app that everybody will come
providing
and
solutions
use.
to problems.
Don't tell us the details.
So the thing is, my question is capital intensive? Like it requires large capital. So if you are in that situation, how do you go about it? Like you said, I shouldn't tell anybody about it. So how do I design the software without telling people? And I want to yeah.
Don't worry. Is it a quotation? Say, don't despise
the days of your little beginning.
Little beginnings. You should think big, but you must always start small. Maybe I didn't say that. You have a software. I am surrounded by people, even though I don't know. My children call me analog. If they were at home, this thing that I did, if you know the number of hours it cost me to do this thing that I did, they will do it within 5 minutes and be making fun of me. But what I know about software is that software initially is always so simple, but by the time people buy it off you, it becomes complex. Facebook was a simple software. Microsoft Word was a simple software. Bitcoin, in those days, people will generate Bitcoin on their laptop. They can get like 100 or 150 coins. Now, if you do it on your laptop, you are going to get 0.001 something. You know it. And by the time you are done, your laptop will be so hot, the damage, and when you sell that point something, the money you will collect will not be up to the value of your laptop. So you need a big something, more than twice the size of this room, to generate 1 Bitcoin. Sure, you know that. Yeah. Me, I'm not a science student too, but at least I've done some research on that, because I try to buy crypto, so I must know what I'm buying. Now, don't think too big. Did you read the newspapers 3 days ago or 2 days ago that one company bought a Nigerian built app for $3 billion? Those guys did not start with money. Don't put money into the equation. I don't know how you are going to do it. Don't put money into the equation. Look, a lot of people now do apps in so many things, in so many ways. So your app should first start as solving a simple question. You know, in mathematics, you start with simple equation. Y is equal to, is it A plus B? Something like that. I don't know again. Before you now go to quadratic, where you have to craft the almighty formula. Then you have to go into, when I was at university, they now say Y is equal to E raised to power X. I say, here. Then one doctor, I say, I will put lambda here, I will put lambda here. Let me confuse you a little. Some of us started crying. When I don't understand Y is equal to E raised to power X, we are putting lambda. What is lambda? I never heard the word before. So you start from the simple bit. Very simple thing that people will be interested in. And it must show that it has shown a service. And as it is showing the service, it can even give you a little income and use to develop it. Where did Bezos start from? Do you know? Amazon. Do you know where he started from? From his garage. I don't know. They like starting from garages. This iMac or whatever, he started from his garage. The Microsoft guy had an idea and he dropped out of school. But do you know one thing about knowledge that he did? He took a course. He was working on campus And he saw a course that was about writing, various forms of writing, so many types of writing. So when that idea came, that course he took, I think it was in his first year, was what he put into Microsoft Word. So you can use Times Roman, you can use all those things you see there, Calibri, area lights, area words. It was because he did that course. That is why you need knowledge, and you need knowledge intelligently. Some people only have book knowledge. You don't need book knowledge. So don't think of how can you raise. People will not give you money if they don't believe they will make money out of the money they are giving you. You understand? So I don't know how you are going to do it, but it's not about money. I have a son, he's an ethical coder. You know what that means? He has a certificate to break into anybody's something officially. He told me, Daddy, I want to go to India. An ethical hacker. I want to go to India to learn how to be an ethical hacker. He came back, he got a job in a bank. They did not put him into IT. They threw you to the banking hall. He was annoyed. I said, God has a purpose for it. Go and learn how to be a banker. By the time he spent, they said he spent just 1 year. By the time he spent 1 year, they did not want him to leave the banking hall. And he spent 3 years there. Something that happened at the quarters. They needed something that could do, they needed people that were very good in IT and also have banking experience, banking hall experience, operations experience. Nobody writes had it, except himself and one chap in Onitsha. So they sent for them. And he did an app, although I was annoyed at that. He did an app for his bank that a company will charge 250 million for. And he did it for his bank. And now, in his own little Nigeria there, he's a small star. And he could only do it because of that experience he had in the banking hall. You understand? But he's a bad businessman. You should know yourself. I told him, I said, look, Lashe, you are a bad businessman. Leverage or what you can, but he knows, he and his friends, they have tried to do a lot of things outside that it has not succeeded. And I know why. So you must know yourself. Don't say because people are doing it to jump on it. But if you want to jump on it, it's not about money. Start. People will beat a path to your door. And Nigerians are making it in apps all over the world. That's the last person.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's honor our guests. Let's honor our guests. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let's. Yes. We are very grateful. And if you know, I believe we would invite you back again if you will honor.
I will surely come.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic. I'm sure we have been so blessed today. Really blessed. Time is fast spent, so we will close quickly. If you have any further questions, please write them down. Let Delacroix have them, and we will email them to him.